Really? No? Really? No? Yes? No? Hard to fucking say. God. YouTube. Do you mind if I play some YouTube? YouTube? Rage Against the Machine on YouTube. YouTube. It's sanctioned by YouTube. Free. Free to the public. They're not fucking hitting on it. What's up, dude? How you doing? YouTube will give me a hard time. Is that the game YouTube plays? That they'll give you a hard time trying to convince you that you need to pay extra for their fucking YouTube Premium or some shit? I don't. What's up, John? How you doing? Yeah, motherfuckers, man. I'm over here fucking trying to get a live show up in about 20 minutes. They just kept messing with me. I don't know. It might be weather related. Either way, I'm drinking fucking coffee and smoking fucking pot tonight. Welcome to the dungeon. How you doing, Dana? Yeah, just it wouldn't let me go live for some reason.
This was an unexpected bill not covered by my health insurance.
Just kept saying live feed can't be done right now. Live feed can't be done right now. Wouldn't give me no reason. Just said couldn't do it. Oh no.
Get to know us. .com.
This is my third shot. It let me take a picture and everything. And I'd set it up and I'd push go live and it'd sit there and go bloop, bloop, bloop like it was not connecting, but I'd go over here and open up and everything's working fine. So I left my music play. Sharon Todd, that's what I think it is. I think it's atmospheric. We're seeing an awful lot of fuckery going on in this wall for everything to be running smooth, right? Yeah, I downloaded one to this channel. I think I meant to. Maybe that was the reason, because I downloaded it and I started. I think that might be my problem, or had been my problem, because I downloaded another video on ISWA on this channel, and I don't think I let it finish processing, and I tried to go live. I probably fucked up that video too. Oh well. That's what I get for trying to do two things at once. Good fresh percolated coffee from marijuana. Nothing better. Nothing better. The other one worked. I downloaded it. It was about 2 minutes long, I think. Yep, maybe that's why I couldn't go live. It was processing another video. That must have been it. More fuckery. Yep, that was it. That was probably the problem. I was probably the problem. Who doesn't know what they're doing over here? I am. There is no other pill to take. So swallow the one that made you ill. my first one. I only made one today. God damn it! What are they barking? I know what they're blocking my shit for because of goddamn what I'm playing right now. But it's Rage Against the Machine's public page. They'll have to. Their goddamn computer picks this shit up and hits me with it, and I have to go in there and fight it in their YouTube court. It's Rage. They hit me on Rage. But I'm using Rage's public page. They can't hit me on that shit. So they'll have to reverse it. And I even went on there and said, this is fucking... and they want you to pay for extra for this shit. Really? If they didn't shadow ban me and give me a hard time, and if they didn't life ban me in the first fucking place for putting up a goddamn golf ball video about why the moon's doing cartwheels, I might pay them some money. But these motherfuckers, man, I'd like to have a little face to face with that CEO lady because they're rude. You see, YouTube doesn't have a whole lot of lawsuits going on in the courts, but they got a whole army of lawyers because they're ready for them. They got me for the I'm Gonna Die song too. Yeah, I figured that's not even worth fighting for. Did they really? They hit me on that? Wait a minute. They hit me on that? They're advertising on that. I think they owe me some money, don't you, John? Legally, if I'm not monetized, they shouldn't be running commercials on my page, should they? And they're running banners on that video. It's got 1,300 views. That was I did that the 7th. That was a couple days ago. And Tiny Bubbles, I know they pissed me off, man. That's bullshit. How in the hell are you gonna? That version of Tiny Bubbles is a remake of a fucking Tiny Bubbles that's still 60, 70 years old. Welcome back, Kim. They can't hit you on copyrights like that. That's messed up. That's been public domain for decades. Yeah, 3 out of the last 4. They hit that news dude hard. He's still got the video up though. He's keeping the video up. I was gonna say if he took the video down, man, I don't know if I'd do another video with him. To be honest with you, I mean, why would I if he's gonna do them and take them down? But he fought to get it back up this morning. Record. I'm not a musician, for God's sake. This is. Oh, anyways, yeah, that stuff's been public domain for decades. They can't copyright me on it. If I go back in and challenge them, they'll reinstate it. It's the AI that does it, but it's irritating as fuck because the AI is a bitch. It really is. And it takes a while to go back in there and challenge those things. You got to sit there and type and bring URLs to it and all this stuff. And I'm not very good at it, as you see. Fuck, I'm trying to download videos while I'm downloading videos and going live at the same time, confusing YouTube. Yeah, and I'm not profiting from the content. Exactly. And see, a lot of times, like on one of them, they hit me, John, and I noticed it and I didn't challenge it because the only thing it did was ban my video in Belgium. So, hey, Rebel. So I was like, well, I don't think I have a big audience in Belgium, so I'm not going to complain about it. It's not really worth my fucking time if they're just going to do that to the one video. But yeah, they've done that to the last two now, huh? Yeah, for some reason I don't know. I could be listening to the radio. I was listening to Pandora, and they were hitting me on copyrights, turning off the live feeds and killing them and shit. Yeah, it's still up there on his channel. I saw that earlier. He kept it up. It wasn't up uh, after we did it for about 2 hours. Wait, you just now check? Yeah, it wasn't up last night for a couple of hours after we did it, but he was fighting it, fighting the decision to have it banned. They let him reinstate it. They won't let him monetize it, and they won't give him a reason. They gave him the community standards link and said you should read the community standards, and it's like, I know the community standards and I know I didn't violate one. How can you not provide me with my freaking crime? And they're monetizing his video. They're running ads on his video that they won't let him monetize. Yes, Rebo, at least they're being consistently obnoxious. So you got to give that to them. But yeah, the rage link. I mean, look, this is the link. This is whose page I'm using right here. It's Rage Against the Machines YouTube page, and that's who I listen to anytime I'm doing any of their videos because I can bring them that link, and they'll be like, "Fuck, fucking AI," and they'll reinstate my video. But that's Rage Against the Machines YouTube video, and there's no copyright anything on that page. That's a playlist for public use. So suck a dick, YouTube. But that's why I stopped playing music on my videos because they'll do that shit. It's fucked up. They were hitting me for AC/DC songs there for the longest time, and I couldn't figure it out because I didn't know how to check and see what they were talking about. I finally figured that out. And I was like, what are you hitting me for AC/DC all the time for? You guys are crazy. If I was trying to commercialize the channel and make money off of it or make a commercial and used their music, that wouldn't be acceptable. But that's not what I'm doing here at all. And so they don't actually have a copyright grievance against me. And they know fully well they can't because I am totally not monetized. Like I said, I've been real nice about them letting them run a fucking ad on my page, but now that they've struck that particular one with a fucking strike too, oh, they're going to hear about their ads on my page and how they're striking, telling me I can't monetize it, but they're running ads on a non-monetized fucking playlist. You know why? You know why, John? Because that's the video. That's the target video. That's the minute and fucking 50-second video that I made on purpose to see what happened. Look what happened. It went. It got instantaneous ads from fucking YouTube because everybody was watching the whole video. They go their logarithm over here, as I have been experimenting with, is all about how long you watch a video. Do you watch the whole thing? If you watch the whole thing, that puts you in the upper echelon of YouTube. And I was like, oh. So I'm killing myself with 15-minute videos. And it might not even be a shadow ban. It might be the fact that people have a 5-minute fucking attention span. Most of the time, that's exactly what it is. So I did a 1:50 video, and it's getting 75% retention. And instantaneously, I've got banners on my fucking video. That's pretty telling in its own way. Because, I mean, they don't do that on my other videos that are only getting 40 and 50% retention. So there you go, John. Are you getting banners on yours? Because I noticed you've done a couple now. But that kind of raises some red flags, because that's the second video they've done that to me now, and you don't have any on yours. An explosion. Hmm. So they haven't added on any of your videos yet. Well, that one that they've put ads on, they started really early on it, and it's had like 1,300 views. They started really early putting ads on it, like maybe in the first 300 views. It happened within the first hour and a half, though, too. I think that was Sunday. I think I put that out Sunday. I'm not sure. I don't remember. Might have been Monday. It was Monday. That's right. It was a holiday. That's why it went. It got like 300 views in the first hour and a half, and they started putting banners on it. And because all of the views were full views, everybody sat there and watched the whole minute and a half of the video. Yeah, I've done that before, Regal, and they have removed their ads from the video they were doing it on. But somehow they've got it on this one too now. And I don't monetize. You can ask John. He helps me run my channel. My shit, I can't even monetize. I could monetize on this channel. I could actually monetize on this channel because I verified this channel. My other channel is not verified, and I'm afraid to. Just putting it out there. I ain't afraid to put it out there either. I've been life banned from these motherfuckers before for talking about the moon rising wax, rolling 180 degrees, set and wane. But I know at this point, being as how I'm doing what I'm doing, reading these fucking hieroglyphs, the government ain't about to fucking kill my channel right now. Like, you leave that motherfucker alone. You can shadow ban him all you want, but you ain't killing this channel. I don't even have a social nothing. No strike, no strikes. And you telling me ain't nobody complained about my language? I figured out this channel might last about 5 minutes. Yeah, I'm not even verified on my other channel. You can't monetize. And they've actually got banner running on my September 7th update. So I'm not making any money off of it. So it's kind of shitty, I think. And especially now you're telling me they hit that video too. Just the fact that they hit that video is going to make me go in there and fucking say something anyways. So on top of something, I'm going to say something. They owe me a couple bucks for fucking being dickheads and throwing advertisements on my page. Yeah. And honestly, I wouldn't mind so much if the motherfuckers, man, I'm sure they're limiting my views. I get like 300 views and it tapers down, and you can tell from the traffic that they're stifling the shit. Nobody's getting their announcements and stuff like that. And you guys will come back and say, I don't get my announcements for your channel. They're messing with John's numbers over there on his channel, and he's not monetized either. A 3.1 quake, yeah, in Jersey last night. Well, look, folks, that was a very shallow quake. Number one, it was about 2 to 2.5 miles deep. That's not an earth movement. There's no faults in that region. The only volcanic regions are 100 miles offshore in that whole region. However, there's a massive bunker complex in between Philly and New York right there where that quake happened. And I've been telling you, they're not allowed in their bunkers. They're fighting. Obviously, something big happened last night. They ain't saving children from these fucking tunnels. They're trying to save their own asses. They're trying to get their tunnels back because it's getting really close to time that they're going to need them. And Mama's warriors ain't letting them have them. So I would, from a 3.1, I would be, I think one of them got destroyed last night. That's what I think happened. It was only 2 miles deep. Nothing tectonic happens at 2 miles. Just doesn't. That's all there is to it. I've never seen anything that shallow. That's man-made. Yeah, ain't none of these other channels going to come out and tell you that. World News might. He's actually a smart guy. I was really disappointed in his post today about the weather machines because those things are just useless now. And they did all that hyping up of the weather machines for the last few decades to get everybody believing they're actually doing this to the weather, and they are certainly not. Do they want? They don't need to. They ain't trying to bring attention to it. If they do it anything, they try to calm it down so people stay where they are because the big death machine's coming when we start slowing down, and that's how they've apparently done it for the last couple of passings. They'll It ain't no accident everybody lives by the shore. We don't have to, and that's not actually where you should live. Look at all these cities that's been wiped out already. Look at New Orleans. New Orleans is a perfect example of that. You know, it's a big fucking population. LA, right there by the ocean and shit. Fucking Miami, right in the ocean. Look at this. They've had to put new pumps in Miami over the last year and stuff just to keep up with the rising tides. It ain't rising tides. The water's coming up from the depths, just like it should. If we're heating up inside, which we are, there's a lot of energy flowing around in there. That water's coming up. That's what's raising the fucking sea levels. There's more water below us than you're looking at. Nice. John's working on playlists on his channel. Myself, I tell you, if you miss one of them fucking videos, you're fucking yourself. You really are. And I couldn't even tell you which one would be the most voted to miss, or to watch, because some of those videos, they might have a little 5 minute thing and then some on the end of an ISWA report that we haven't known for thousands and thousands of years. And it's just, that's the way I put it down. That's the way I do it. You're going to have to look at them all. That's why I took down all my fucking live casts from that channel. Because that channel over there is just monitoring ISWA and the new developments, reading. Fuck, I've deciphered a couple of, quite a few little hieroglyphs. They're fucking hieroglyphs. I call them little drawings. They're hieroglyphs, for fuck's sake. I'm decoding them in these fucking videos. There's a shit you've never seen. So why would you want to miss it? That's what if I found somebody's channel like this on fucking YouTube, like scientific, I've seen every one of Scientific Lee's fucking videos. And me and him don't get along, but I like his fucking videos. They fucking work. Scientific Lee's mad at me because I'm convinced we got 3 suns and he's not. He thinks the universe lost voltage and we're all going to die. I say it's our planet lost voltage when the Anunnaki, they told us, they trapped us here in this fucking void and on this little sun. And we can see there's planets coming over here transiting the sun that are as big as our fucking sun. Obviously, we're on a really teeny sun. Horus, the red sun, looks huge behind our sun. And he keeps getting bigger. Do you think... Think about it. 2 years ago, the halo looked like that and the sun looked like that. Now the halo's like fucking this. What do you think's been happening? That fucking red sun's been creeping up on it. That's how it showed up in the magnet, too. It just kept getting bigger and bigger and bolder and bolder. The same with Ra. These things were on the approach when I lost my magnet camera. Fuckers. I still can't. If they got that shit on, and the damn thing's working. I'm just pissed. How you doing? What's up, Nicolita? Nick? Oh shit! I'm just gonna call you 137. Because I always fuck your name up. How you doing? Wingo. Yeah, the freaking halos. I mean, what? Why else would they be getting bigger if that's not an actual shadow behind the sun? I've been telling people that's the shadow behind the sun. That's why we're on this side of the sun. We're locked in. We're tidal locked. For God's sake, our sky is off. It's not just the moon. They ain't shit rising when it should be. We're off orbit. That's all there is to it. We should be on a zodiac that they just revamped fucking and redid in biblical times. There ain't no way we're 2 months, almost 3 months off fucking zodiac now. We've been drifting like a motherfucker, and it ain't drifting. We're being held. These suns are coming in like everything else moves like this. And they're coming in like that, and our sun is in the middle. And so are we. We're like right here. Here's the sun, here's us, and here's Ra pushing. Well, Horus is on this side, pushing all these other bigger planets, and that's why they're coming around the sun, coming up to us. We're seeing them interact with the bow shock and everything. I mean, this shit's real. You can see them. You've seen them. I've seen them. I got eyes. They ain't illusioning me. My eyes work just fine. I ain't seeing no illusions. Yeah, we're getting magnetically smashed. And that's why we have the Cherenkov radiation in the first place. Because there's so many magnets holding in all that ionized, all those ionized particles. Um, what are you going to get? You're going to get Cherenkov radiation. That's how they do it. But it's perfect camouflage for a fucking planet. I mind blown, mind freaking blown. Yeah, Reebor, act like you can pronounce it. Nikolai, is that it? Nikolai? Reebor can spell it. I can spell it too. I can't say it right. I'm just gonna call her 137. I love you, man. There you go, Nikolai. I guess you can say it better than I can. Oh, wait a minute. This is Sean coming up. He's got this. Sean's got this shit. He knows about Lazarus College, too. Fuck. I ain't never good. Look, Sean, I told you I ain't never going to forget that one. Fucking Lazarus Comet Man. Holy shit. Oh my god. That's some amazing shit when somebody comes back with some shit that I just dropped in a conversation. that was duly impressive. Here's to you guys. Perfect. Gotta love my coffee. I hadn't had any all day, so that's my first brew of the day. Here's a little funny thing about Comet Ison. You remember when it went around the sun and it broke? BP Earthwatch tried of it, and then we watched it go out of the satellite view. It didn't get destroyed at all, and it didn't get broke either. I tracked it in Grumpy Moose. And the side profile, that short end and the long end of Ra, that's fucking Comet Ison, dude. It spat out the fucking Dingley Cobra. And if you go back into my Facebook page real deep, you'll see that I've got that. I showed the side by side. I can't remember. I think it was like whenever it came through, I was showing the side by side with the fucking side by side profile of Ra's tunic. That magnetosphere is Comet Ison, man. It's a sun. It was 50 feet, 5,000 miles fucking wide. It was no fucking comet. It was bigger as the sun. Going by the sun. If you looked at the damn disc, it was bigger than the fucking disc going by the sun. And they said that it got hit by the sun. I said, if it hit the fucking sun, that sun would have fucking blinked out. Magnets don't lie. I knew that wasn't no fucking comet. That motherfucker was blue, and it was way the fuck out there. And by the time it got around the sun, it was just, like I said, it was as big as the sun. You're sitting there looking at it, and the stats of it alone out there past Jupiter when it started. They were like, oh look, the comet's lighting up millions of miles from where any other comet in the world's ever fucking lit up. You know what I mean? They're like, no, they were just pointing it out, being like, oh, yeah, people are starting to see it. So let's say it's a comet. You mean, how does it affect us? It affects us in each and every possible manner of existence. Number one, the intake of food. That's why we got COVID. Number one, so the government is assured that you have no idea why we're out of food. That's why we're out of food. It ain't COVID. Ain't no butcher getting sick. It's the silage lot out here doesn't have any corn to give the cows, and the cows walking around in the fields are getting skinny right now. Why? Because they don't have any natural grasses to eat out here either. All they're eating is bramble bush. That would begin as one. That's why your harvest sucks this year too. That's why the weather's crazy. That's why your headaches. That's why you got ringing in your ears. That's why you've got swimminess and feeling seasick half the time. That's just the beginnings. Um, Now, if you go back in my previous videos on my other channel, you're going to find out ways that you can take care of all of that and lose it. Stop being nauseous. Stop being seasick. Stop being agitated. All you got to do is get in here. You got a magnet just like Mother Earth, and you're going to feel everything that she's doing. And that's okay. As long as you know what's going on. And if not, it's going to drive you nuts. But you got to keep calm right here. You got to maintain calm, and you can't do it here. You have to do it from here. You have to learn how to actually manipulate your magnet enough to calm it so your field lines in your magnet field will rise above your cranium. Then you're trapping in your own Schumann frequency, just like Earth does every day for you. But the fact that she's pushing closed field lines now, because she's been a resting magnet, that's a resting magnet. A magnet at work lowers its field. It gets down, it hunches. Now it's stronger and it closes its fists. It gets ready to fight. That's brawn over brain. She's taking you off the nipple right now. You have to make your own field lines relax and make your own Schumann frequency in essence. And that is going to help you. More than anything else you can do. These Schumann generators and shit, yeah, you can turn them on and you feel better, but what happens when the battery runs out of that motherfucker? You need to learn how to use this magnet, because that is what gives us strength. That spark of life from God. And everything living has it, including your Mother Earth. And that is required knowledge to become meek here. Because you can't be meek here if you don't know who Mother Earth really is. And that's God's first creation. Well, Heather, the problem is they teach you to meditate up here. And that is not where you need to meditate. You need to meditate in your emotions and your feelings, right here from your intent. Your intent comes from your heart, and that's the only thing Earth and Creator understand. That it's Babel, literal Babel. You can lie, and with every word you speak. We spell things correctly for a reason. These words are flowery and made to fucking divide, and they do that. They do that very well. I can say one thing to somebody and say the same thing to somebody else and get two different reactions. But if everybody knows my intent, it's coming through pure. It is hard to do, Heather. Is it not? It is. I'm sitting here, I'm telling you right now, it's hard for me to do. I'm very pragmatic. I've been geared away from this, and I didn't even know I had a magnet in my chest. I knew magnets like the back of my hand, but I didn't know I had one. That completely changed everything. And it's just the base knowledge of magnets is changing the whole dynamics of the programming for me because I understand magnet like I understand my fingerprint. And it helps me kill the programming a little bit better, I think, than some people. And that's why I've gone to extensive lengths to put everything in the Ferrell cell for everybody that led me to right where I'm at. Because I would have never found God in a book or esoterically. Um, I would have never been sitting here ready to tell you Mother Earth is alive unless I could prove it. And I think I have. It took me about 400 videos. And it doesn't matter to me at this point because I know what I am, I know what Mother is, and I know what God is. And that's the important thing here. That's how that's the only way you can be meek. Without that knowledge, you're going to die. And it's not too much to know. That's why I keep saying, if you're having problems and have been trying to help your loved ones and friends wake up, keep harping on that moon. Once they see the moon, they can't unsee it. They can't turn the page. They can't turn it off. It's there. And every time they look at it, it's going to be different. It's going to bug the fuck out of them. And then they're going to want to talk to you. Yep. Ken, how you doing, Shu? Ken, the tattooed monkey. Hi, Glenn. We all do, Heather. Yeah, and we're not alone. That's another thing that the programming wants you to believe is we're alone, and we are not. We are human beings. We love each other, whether we like it or not. And we need to start acting like it. Stop listening to what we've been told. It's pretty simple. Once you start waking up and realizing you live on a little beautiful blue marble, and that marble done turned on her side, and we're making the sky roll, that we better come together on something because we are all facing an extinction level event together, regardless of the race or color or religion that you are. Hi, how you doing, Brenda? I just hope to unify us because we need to be. We need to be. This is the way we were created, and if we can't unify, then the Creator doesn't really have much to do left for us. And He's given these Anunnaki an awful lot of warning. We've all heard that. He's given these Anunnaki an awful lot of warning and told them, and we're going to hear it again tonight, where he's just straight up with them. Look, you motherfuckers need to get the fuck off this planet, and they just haven't. And they keep playing the same game with us over and over and over. And the writings of the Bible are going right along with the cuneiform. I believe that they were writing their own demise, and Mom's afraid so too. And she wants these corn givers to back off of this shit and start healing what they've done, so they can put shields up around planet heaven over here because they're unguarded. The whole freaking planet, not just the Anunnaki, but their whole planet. Um, that's just not a good scenario. I understand what they've done, but it's if they learn from what they've done, they could go on and do better things. Like help grow creation with understanding where they fucked up. Yeah, I know, Paul. That's coming, maybe. And Paula, look, we're healers. Mama has said it, and I've said it in a couple of videos. I know that are still up. If you see crazy things going on and creatures you just don't understand, keep calm. Mom's got you marked. There ain't a hair on your head going to be harmed, but only in defense should you aggress. No, the moon is not self-lit. It reflects the sun's light and it travels around us. That's done several videos on that. You don't have to be nice, Paula. I'm just saying. I'm just passing along the message. Mama says be nice for now. For now. And if shit has to hit the fan, see, that's another thing. It ain't really being nice. It's just doing your thing. Your thing isn't the aggressor. We're healers of nature. Mama has aggressors. She's just been knocked out. Things have changed. They just, like I said, she's more worried about planet heaven than herself at the moment. And things are going to heat up, pick up real soon if things don't break. I've heard the same thing too, Brenda. Several indigenous tribes speak of it to this day. And the cuneiform goes pretty into depth about how they use the moon as a way station at the very least. And keeping in mind that the cuneiform is basically the writing of the victor, you got to understand that they're just telling us what they want us to know. I'm sure they use that thing for some other things than a way station. Same here, Sean. Well, we're going to see it. We're going to see it. Hell or high water, it's coming. That's why all these planets are surrounding us. We're trapped in a magnetic void around this little sun. Horus is fixing to suck it black like sackcloth and kill its magnet for a minute so they can bounce us off and throw us into orbit around Ra. That's the plan. What it looks like, I don't know. This, and then some. Yeah, they use it for a way station. They use it for a hangout. Fuck, they probably got a lounge up there, McDonald's, all that shit. And they probably send fucking transmissions down. Fucking hit us with frequencies all the time from that motherfucker too. I mean, if I had a fucking moon sitting over a fucking world of people that I had fucking slaved and I didn't want them to know, and I was watching them, I'd be on the moon. And then if the motherfuckers tried to come up there and be all like, and then come up there and land, and I'd be surrounding them just like you hear on the radio because I believe the moon landing happened, just one. And because you can listen to the actual transmissions coming out of the radio from Earth to the rocket going up there. Those motherfuckers are all like, as soon as they stepped out of the crack, they're like, oh man, we are surrounded by some badass looking motherfuckers. ETVs, extraterrestrial vehicles. I mean, they're talking in code, but these are also not highly talked about transmissions, but they happened. Now, why did they have to remake all the footage? Well, because we were chased off the fucking moon. That's why. I totally believe that. And that whole thing with when they fucking shot a shot at the moon, what was that shit? What the fuck was that shit? We already remember that they had to connect and it rang like a bell. Sounds like Earth too. Yeah, that one landing they were told never to come back, and I don't think we ever have left Earth orbit since then. I think all the other ones were absolutely fake. Now, heart stars about the ISS. Yes, the ISS is there. I've seen it with my own eyes in orbit. What's it doing? I don't know. It's not doing what they say they're doing up there. A lot of the footage from the ISS is not from the ISS. It's from a fucking studio, probably the same fucking studio they did the goddamn moon landing from. And that's real. But so is the ISS. It's real too. It's real. It's an object up there you can lay your eyes on if you're in the right spot every night. And you can actually see it with your naked eye. It's up there. It's up there a good ways. So it's definitely in orbit. Because a lot of people are like, "What do you think about satellites?" I'm like, well, "They're real. I watch them every night when I'm watching the sky. You don't? I see them. I see them with my own eye, my naked eye. You can see a fucking satellite going across the fucking sky." And you can break out the binoculars. You don't need a telescope. You can break out the fucking binoculars and look at it and tell if it's a communications, a spy, or whatever kind of fucking satellite it is. You can actually identify a lot of them. So, yeah, they're really up there. We really live on a ball, but we've been trapped on this ball. There ain't no question about it by some motherfuckers. And this ball itself has been trapped. They tell us how they did it, even. That's the fucked up thing. Yeah, it floats up there. You bet. I've seen it. Yeah, and you can, Danny. You can see it. It's amazing. Watching these things from the ground. You know, I don't like heights. I definitely would be scared to fucking death if I was on the ISS. But like I said, they're not going to be showing us what they're doing on the ISS. They're going to show us what they want us to see from a studio here on Earth. That's for damn sure. I have no fucking questions about that. I've seen too much footage from the ISS that's just questionable. But then again, I've seen other footage that's pretty good from the ISS. So, and you can tell the difference between the feeds. A lot of times, the feed coming through the atmosphere is a little bit more grainy than the one that they put out. What's up, Freeman? Than the ones that they put out from the Hollywood studio set. You can tell a little bit of the quality difference too. Yeah, you get a lot of glitches, a lot of screen showing in places because they can't control absolutely everything. I agree. There's a lot of green screen involved in that shit. But some of it's not too. You know, when they're getting views from space, some of it is, some of it isn't, and you just have to try to discern which is which. Good move, Valerie. Good move. TV's not good for you. I watch documentaries here on YouTube a lot. Uh, so like I love the Sumerian, listening to Sumerian documentaries. I like watching the Egyptian shit. There isn't as much about Egypt as there is Sumer, of course. You go figure. Egypt started out our civilization and ended up theirs through conquest of years of conquest, and they figured out better ways to kill us off and basically put us by the oceans. Yeah, but I don't know. I've been online since about 2011, 2012, and about 8 or 9 years, I guess. And since I've been on here, I have put in hours and hours and hours of research on several different branches of subjects. I don't know how anybody can get on here and just waste this kind of information. It kills me. It's like, holy shit, man, there is just so much uh, on here. It's incredible, including this Bible canon we've been listening to. You know, I mean, I couldn't find that in a library. You, you just you can't go to the library and look up Bible canon. But you can here. Hey, CH. Hi, Mickey. And Handy. Everybody else I missed. Doing good, doing good. Getting ready to work out with my purple stick over here. It didn't come out right, did it? I'm gonna be working with some purple stick today. I got I got some purple over here too. I just noticed. Yeah, I got purple everywhere. Good. I'm gonna make a bubbler tonight. I've got the reverse balls already done for it. Yeah, an awful lot of information here, Sean. You don't have to believe anybody. That's what I love about this. And I try to remind everybody, if you don't understand a word that comes out of my mouth, maybe you should be typing it in and checking it out. Because I'm not going to give you words like stellar core and then tell you the wrong way to fucking use them so you sound like an idiot when you're talking in public. That's not my style. We know who does, though, don't we? Oh, boy. Yay! Yeah, that's right. John broke 1,000 subs today. Thank you all for going to his channel too. As he's obvious wealth of information. He's a lot more patient about teaching people how to read this shit, ISWA and everything else than I am. But I'm like I said, I'm about 8 years into this. So I'm kind of jaded And I've realized that it's not my job to sort through the fucktards and the paid tards, and there is a difference. There's a difference between a paid tard and a fucktard. The paid tard is an air breathing demon. The fucktard is, well, it's just a fucktard. But it's hard to tell the difference between them sometimes. So I've just gone into the practice of calling them all fucktards. And trolls, and it doesn't matter. They're in the same fucking category for me. But Homebrewed, he hasn't quite reached that level of jadedness yet. So he keeps it really nice and polite and sweet. And he even welcomes you to his channel every day. But I don't give a fuck if you're here or not. As long as you're telling the truth. Honest to God, I love y'all, but I mean, you don't need me at a certain point. You'll realize the truth and you'll be like, holy fuck. I don't need that cussing ass, that angry motherfucker over there. And you won't. And I that's where I want you to be. Now, if you bring back some shit, like what was it? Fucking, it wasn't last night. It was a couple nights ago. Oh yeah, 1748 hertz with the stem cells, and how stem cell reproduction is boosted if you're within people that get goosebumps a lot. Huh? Huh? That was brought back here from somebody that went out and did their goddamn homework, because I would have never looked at that. I can tell you right now, if I would have run into it, it would have been by accident or somebody else bringing it back, being like, did you know about this? No, I didn't know about this, but it's pretty fucking cool. Thank you for bringing it back. You know what I mean? That's how this shit grows. And that's further correlation on the 1748 hertz, the goosebumps, the electromagnetic energy running through your body. And if you don't do that 2 or 3 times a day, you ain't living. I've been saying that forever. And you know what? It's true. Because them fucking stem cells is what repairs your body. So you just keep fucking getting them goosebumps and you're living, man. It's fucking amazing. But like I said, thank you for bringing it back, because it's fucking, it's not an avenue I was looking at. I went and found Goosebumps. I was happy with Goosebumps. I stopped there. I found the medical journal on the Goosebumps and the frequencies and all that stuff, and I was like, wow, and I posted it, made a little video, and I was happy about it. I thought that was further correlation for something else. And I didn't even think of patients per section of everything I just proved, which led us to what God's omnipresence. But this is on the subject of us and that 1748 hertz and how that affects our bodies. And I think it's fucking amazing. Yeah, I was just lagging here. It was telling me that my shit was I'm getting flags and all kinds of shit coming up. They must not like us talking about fucking 1748 hertz and what it does for us, do they? They don't like us knowing about our stem cells, Hermetic. That's all right. Mama's better AI than their AI, Hermetic. Can't talk about goosebumps. That's right, Paula. No goosebumps. Well, when you start making connections like that and proving God's omnipotent through stuff we were writing ourselves centuries ago, yeah, it kind of starts hitting on nerve cells for the ones in power. What's up, Inky? But like I said, I really don't see them killing my channel anytime soon. Uh, if they do, they do. I guess they decided that they want to breathe air like demons. I don't know. I think they're learning for now, just like everybody else, just like us. They know I'm holding back a few things, and they know, God, they know who the fuck I am too. So they're not gonna fucking try to lose track of me and what I'm talking about. So I truly believe my channel is secure. But they may shadow ban me and keep your notifications. So whether you subscribe to me or not isn't important. You're going to probably have to look for my shit anyways. Just saying. Because they do. They like to play games over here, don't they? They'll kick you guys off. I'll notice we'll have like 50 people up here, and the next thing we know, we have 10 or 12 down to 3. And it's like, well, what the hell's going on over here? Yeah, that's the way I look at it too, Mickey. As fast as they killed my first channel, um, and as little information as I had on that channel compared to what's here, uh, that leads me to believe one thing. They're learning more than my average viewer off of this. And it's confirmed when we're listening to the cuneiform when they're telling us they had no idea what we were drawing, but they took on the personifications, like Marduk became Ra and Quetzalcoatl and whatever the name was over here in China. He did this globally, but they took on the personifications of the things that we were drawing. They didn't even understand what we were drawing, and they also said that they tried to. Yeah, I should be the last one talking about this shit. I don't know who they are. I'm good on Samaria. I'm really tight on my Sumerian knowledge. That I could probably take on any Sumerian scholar on. But everything else, Egypt and all these Native American things, I ain't got. I'm just now beginning to look at these things. That's where I keep telling you guys, you're probably ahead of the game more than I am. But you haven't realized it yet. But when you do, it's going to shine on you because you're going to be like, oh, I already looked at that. I know what they were saying now. This kind of shit. And I don't have that. When I stumble into it, it's fucking like, oh my God, it's a boom. So you're gonna have that too at those moments, a lot more than I do because I have to look for this shit. You need a channel banner. Put a Raw up there. Raw in the conical hats. Yeah, it goes way deeper than the Hopi prophecy too. It goes back into the Mayans, and it leads right into the cuneiform and these writings of Inky and there are some of them that are not public that I've made a video on, or a couple of videos that if you guys missed, you're gonna have to go back and look at my videos because there are a lot of the origin prophecies coming out of Egypt right now in a pipeline to me, not to public, because a lot of them refer to me, obviously, and Inky himself. he was haunted by the creator of all about what they were doing with us. And you're going to hear about a little bit more of it coming. And he started writing things that were really weird because they include me doing stuff that I've already done and I can't read myself out of. So it's kind of, put yourself in my fucking shoes. It's something I don't really talk about a lot. How's that? Imagine yourself waking up one day and reading the ancient languages like they were your own. And all these original myths, and including the Hopi prophecy, very specifically mentioned that I will do that. And I did. And people in Egypt have realized that fast. It took a couple of days to get over there. How? I don't know. I do know this. One of my friends on Facebook that had been a friend of mine for 3 years at that point came forward and told me he's one of the big medicine men in this nation. All the tribes know him, and they came here in a mist, like a couple of other tribes that came forward. They came here in a mist when I was talking about our Lazarus seat that we can make when two or more come in together, and then I broke down the Merkaba, the Jewish overlaid boop boop pattern of two Hallback arrays. And with that, you can interstellar travel and shit. And the legend holds that, and what the Merkaba stands for tells you exactly what the Merkaba fucking does for us. And it's a human being formation that makes that happen. And then people can walk through these Lazarus seats into another family of creation in straight heart. We don't need mechanics, in other words, to interstellar travel. It's all in our hearts. We can literally do anything we put our fucking hearts to. They literally meant that. Except for harm God. How can you harm God if your power is lost as soon as meekness towards our creator and creation is gone? It's not a lingering effect. It's not like you can grab it in meekness and then change your heart and then go try and harm our creator with the power that he gave us and designed us with. You think he's stupid. He's not. That safety switch is the intent in your heart itself and the frequency of your magnet. And that's why you have to attain meekness from your heart, not your head. But in your head, you have to understand who mother and father are, to be meek to them, to be the child you're made to be. We're a child of creation. I don't care what. They're child of creation too. Everybody asks me, well, did the Anunnaki? And it's a very legitimate question, but if you pay attention, no, they didn't. The question being, did what the Anunnaki do to us change our ability? No, it did not. And that is very evident in, number one, why we're divided so much, right down from religion, money, color, zone, and what bathroom you fucking want to use, sex. They separate us any freaking way they can. Red, blue, all that. Well, yeah, the red and the blue Kachinas are definitely Ra and Horus, and they're magnet signatures. Now, whether we called that Ra or not when we were in Egypt, because you can tell we were teaching our little children the laws of physics. That's what all these temples around are when they came over and started basically murdering us from Sumer. And then you can see us writing about that. Then all of a sudden, you can see about the fifth dynasty, everything started changing. The writings took on different meanings and stuff, and I can't even read them now when you get in some of these older or the newer, rather, dynasties. And the reason for that is straight up in the cuneiform again. They'll tell us that they didn't understand what we were writing. They took on the personifications. They didn't understand that Ra wasn't a god. They thought that we were depicting Ra as a god, like we do today, apparently. Ra's a sun. And that's his magnet signature. So we were drawing globally all this stuff. And we scared them because we were also, at that point, they had almost killed everybody. I've already explained this. I don't know if I did it in a live or so we're going to cover that. When they trapped us and reversed us in the polarity, we hear in the end of days exactly how they do it. They destroyed a planet, created the hammered bracelet with what was left of it, and trapped Earth in the void that it created. Well, that goes right along with what's his name's law of planetary placements. Well, if you destroy a planet, of course, there's going to be a magnetic void right there, and they trap the Earth in it. Therefore, Earth was separated from heaven, heaven was separated from Earth. That's how the whole text goes. It goes into depth about how they did that. Because I had been wondering, and I was listening for the answers, so that's why I caught it. And I stopped. I remember that was during one of my live shows. I've never done a video on it, so probably should, because I got my answer. How did they do it? How did they come down here and overpower us? I was wondering with their tools, because I know we're stronger than any spaceship. We could fling a spaceship like that, dude. We got a fucking magnet in our chest that is equal to Mother's, and we can manipulate that motherfucker, concentrate the field, and do some damage or do some good. Depends on how you want to use it. Well, how you need to use it, because it's not a want. See, you can't use it for a want. That's part of the safety switch of this kind of power. You can't use it for self. It's a selfless thing. That's the beautiful thing about it. When we come together in love, then we get it. And that's the only way we get this power. So you ain't going to be much good if you're hating your neighbor because of their color or their religion or who they're voting for this November. But that's how they do it. They keep us divided by those tools. Yeah, Mother is God's creation. Absolutely. Mother is God's creation. First creation. And we were born on her through her energy. We're born with a magnet just like hers, out of no coincidence. It was absolutely designed. And just because of the grandeur of what that means for you, Glenn, that you have a magnet in your chest, like that is your spark of life that God gave you. He's here, take this magnet and go live a little bit and grow it. And you got to grow the energy in that magnet. You got to understand how to manipulate that magnet. You got to, even if you don't understand, you got a magnet in your chest. If you're doing good, and learning from your mistakes, you're growing your life force. You're growing your magnet. You're growing your experience. And then when you go back to God, you can hand him back that little spark he gave you and be like, look what I did. You got a great big old spotlight there. And you'd be like, oh, that's awesome. You grew creation and give you back your little spark again. And off you go on a different mission. It's kind of how it works with the creator. We've been trapped in this scenario for a while by these motherfuckers down here on this planet where they trapped us in a void. And these people, the Bible canon tells us that. They knew we lived on a globe and going through space. They knew the planetary physics of how to trap a planet. They didn't have to come down here to kill us. In other words, they switched our polarity by trapping us in the void of this sun. It's a very low energy sun compared to Ra. Mom was knocked out, flipped polarity at full speed, boom, the Cretaceous boundary. where molecules went from being big to little because we lost energy. Scientific Lee goes over that process. However, he blames the universe for losing polarity. I just told you how we lost polarity here and why the Cretaceous boundary happened. We switched polarity at 25,000 miles an hour, and everything went sideways or bounced off the planet. Period. They had us down to like 6 people. We proliferated a little bit. They found a few of us and started harvesting us for slaves. They go into this. They tell how they couldn't separate that which they gave us their genetic shit before they even figured out what we were. And they started changing us. When Marduk started doing his thing, he had us building these fucking temples over here, and they tell you about how we built these pyramids for them. They don't have our markings on them. They're markless. Those older temples are ours around those pyramids. They put those fucking pyramids there with our labor. We moved their stones. They may have cut them. We moved them. And you can tell the construction's different from the pyramids to the fucking. They always say that all this other construction around here is different from the fucking pyramids. Well, duh. It's because we were doing it. And they had to scale it down because we scared the fuck out of them. And they said that we could do anything we put our hearts to. You think it was a sun-baked mud brick that we scared them with? No. We were doing crazy things, and then there were too many of us. And they were like, man, these motherfuckers could crush us. And they had to keep us divided. Here we are today. And they tell us this step by step. But they couldn't separate that which gives us power, because that which gives us power is that which gives us life. It's our spark of life. God gave it to you, exactly like Mother Earth's. And that's not a coincidence, because he gave her one too. He gave her one first. I used to believe that so much in my heart, Glenn. I really did. And then I got to, after I met Mom, I was saddened because I believed that my creator was so small, like myself. Because I remember in kindergarten when I made my first creation, and it had little googly on eyes, and we called it a pet rock. My creator is so much more grand than that, and they've kept us from understanding that, and it's that in itself is a fucking crime. I see flat Earth people, and it saddens me how small they believe our creator is. You getting goosebumps? I believe that once. I did. I believed we lived on a rock. I really, really believed it. And then I thought about it once I met her. You can go back in my earlier videos. I was freaking out. The moon, she gave me the moon as a picture, a hologram light, and told me it wasn't hers. She gave me these big trees and told me that's where the crown jewels came from, the hearts of these crystalline, mile tall fucking growths, trees. And I went through and made videos, proved what she showed me, to prove to my fucking self I wasn't nuts. And even though I was doing that, I wasn't thinking Mother Earth. I was thinking, okay, I got to prove I'm not crazy. This came from somewhere. This didn't come from my mind because I thought instantaneously I was convinced for a while, actually, a couple of weeks. I was convinced I had lost my mind. And it might have been about 4 or 5 days actually, because I remember the first thing, and I'll show you right now. Tell right now, I was diagnosed with cataracts. I've been blowing glass for fucking 30 years, since 1993. I shouldn't be able to see, but I'm sitting back here reading your fucking text. So I walked out and I read some small print. I was like, whoa, wait a minute. I'm reading small print. So something physically changed in me. I noticed that. And I know I didn't have the operation. So I started looking at what was going in my head. And I found the moon from the Dogons and all these people saying that it was probably drug here. And I found the trees with him, Mr. 333. He's showing these trees in Madagascar. And I'm driving through them in the Midwest. So I'm starting to see these things that she's shown me where they got the crown jewels from her trees, hearts, where they cut down these fucking trees. So I started realizing, well, okay, I'm not nuts. That I go to is planet Earth alive? No. No. First thing I wanted to think was, who tried to possess me? Programming sucks. It really does. It wouldn't let me enjoy what should have been fucking awesome. It scared the fuck out of me. Scared the fuck out of me. And you know how I met her? I don't know. Some of you might not have heard how I met Mother Earth. I wasn't looking for her either. I had found out like that day that we had a magnet in our chest, and I went and I looked, and I was like, "Oh my god!" And I started going just neurotic about it, and found out we had a brain down here, all that stuff in like just a couple hours. Me knowing magnet from the Navy, I was like, "Holy fuck, no!" All of a sudden, Meek came into my head. And I was like, that's a frequency. Oh my God. And I came down here and I put my hand in the dirt and I tried to match my frequency with Mother Earth so I could crush a tin can and make a video. I'm not fucking kidding you. And she punched me in the face and said, motherfucker, you can't use my magnet for that. I'm not kidding you. It's how I met her. That's why it scared me. I wouldn't look. I was on a fucking planet that I thought was dead, and I knew it had a magnet, and I could bring mine to resonant frequency. I'm gonna fucking rock this bitch. No, silly me. It is not the way it works. But it is in physics. But I mean, that safety switch. How can you can't attain the right frequency if you don't know who she is? You can't. It's impossible because you can't fake it. You can't. It doesn't come from here. I was like, oh my god. God is great. We didn't scare him with this power. It's not our creator we scared. I promise you. It wasn't God that we scared with the power that He granted us, that gives us our very life. Yes. Yeah, Lauren, it's not for petty. It's not for self. It's we can literally put a harnessing magnetosphere over this planet and protect all of life. That's pretty big. That's pretty fucking big. That's that's fucking pretty big. I couldn't think of anything bigger. We're amazing. We're fucking amazing. And we can do more than that, of course, because we have a magnet in our chest. We can move big stones with no effort, out of love, for the effort, for good. Not for show, not for proving, not for faith. You can't have faith. You have to know this shit in your heart. So that's why I'm such a dick, and I won't sit here and spoon feed you like John does. I send you off to John, so it's not of me. It's not my message. It's real. You guys can go see these things and learn, because you're not going to learn if I spoon feed them to you. But I made videos of that whole process right here, right, not here, on Angry Catfish. Not here. That is not what this channel's about. I made all of those videos. You need to go look at. Maybe you don't. I'm just saying that every video I made has something fucking crazy in it. But it's proof. It's proof of this and that and this and that and this and that. That's what's crazy about it. It's not me sitting here like we are right now. It's, of course, a feral cell or somebody else's like a search showing you millions of links that you can go learn from. You're going to learn a lot more from all those links than you would listening to me, would you not? And exactly, Rebel. Rebel. That's what it boils down to. Love, but it's got to be an open love for all of creation. And that would include Mother Earth. And a lot of us, because I can speak for myself, have been programmed to believe anything other than we live on a living planet. Some of you might find that hard to believe, but I used to throw stones at the Gaia people, just like I do a flat earther and a hollow earther. And then I found out it's actually hollow and alive. So I was wrong, and I've been proven wrong by a planet several times. And I've made videos every time she proves me wrong. I just don't know how to give her $1,000 or $100. Every time she proves me wrong, I don't have no way to give her $100. I guess she's taken from my soul buck stack. I don't know how that works. Yep, Mama needs us. Key words there, Lauren. And a lot of people will be like, "Oh yeah, well, Mother Earth would be better off without us." And honest to God, we were made to help her protect life through this exact scenario. People are like, "Yeah, but we can't do anything about it." And I'm like, "Actually, it's your birthright to do something about it. You have the power in your chest. It's your choice whether to do something about it or not. That is free will. Now, if you don't do anything about it, you're going to be wiped the fuck off the planet. That is coincidence." Coincidence, he says. Maybe not. It's another C word, though. Consequence for one's actions and or inactions. Yeah, it's our exact reason for existing, to do something about this fucking situation. Exactly. Regardless of what words I choose, because words were given us by those that divide us in the first place. We never spoke words. We spoke from the heart. You can't lie to each other. Why do you think we were cooperative and loving? Because we knew each other's intent was pure for each other, for love, for Earth. You can't lie to each other. You can't subvert. You can't make somebody pissed off at you if they know your intent when they run into you. That's why we were cooperative and loving, and that's how God made us. And that's how we need to be again. Our children need to be these creatures again. Yeah, well, we are. We're little magnet warriors, magnet rainbow warriors. As a matter of fact, some of these legends talk about the rainbow tribe. Well, that's us. As I understand from these unanimously from the Native American tribes that I've spoken to that came here in a mist through the love circle, they'll call it the Merkaba, the love circle. That's how they arrived here. They'll tell you that every planet in creation has one tribe. We're the only planet they're aware of that has multicolored people like this. So if we can bring it together, we'll be the only tribe in creation that has multicolored tribesmen in it. You know, we'll be the melting pot of creation and the successful overcoming of this divisiveness. It's not a yin and yang thing in creation. Creation grows. We grow creation with our living and our experiences and our learning. We've been stifled here with the yin and yang, the brothers, these misguided brothers in creation called the Anunnaki. And they need to be straightened out too. So they're no more guilty than we are. That has to be understood. There can be no retribution for them unless you're going to retribute for what you've done for them. And that's how forgiveness works. Took me a while to learn that one too. I did videos on it. Took me about 8 months to understand from the moment I believed that I had met God and been forgiven to the moment I was actually forgiven. When I actually comprehended that sentence I just said. And mom was like, now you've truly been forgiven. And I'm like, I understand her mission now and why I'm here. And that's why I came out in this one of these videos and said, you know, our paths have changed. I'm doing something that doesn't pertain to this planet. Funny enough, I'm trying to get a meeting with Mother and these corn givers that are pulling strings. And it's proven to be a very difficult thing because of politics. And Mother doesn't want to remove the politics, but they're fixing to get removed. If they don't open some gates, because those gates are getting blown off. There's going to be fucking. We've already seen. I've been telling. She keeps showing me fire tornadoes on these bases out there in the Grand Canyon, and says she'll clear my way. There's a peace offering on the table right now, and it's not her timeline. Apparently, the creator of all has made a promise to his first creation to return her to her father's son, where she belongs, and free her. And this is a group effort going on. That's why these planets are behind us. That's why I'm not afraid of it. I was when I saw my whole sky open up and there's a planet right above us that is bigger than fucking. We look like a. It was fucking huge. And I'm standing there. I know it wasn't my imagination because my 73-year-old oxygen man standing there. We're out in the middle of a field on a beautiful fucking clear cloudless day. Watched the blue fog separate, and then there's this planet. You can see just part of it, terrain, and we look like a moon. And then it backed back into the fog. And me and him just stood there. I don't know. It must have been a couple of minutes. I don't even believe either one of us said a word. I was afraid my friend Richard was going to have a heart attack. He's 73 years old. I was afraid I was going to have a heart attack. I was afraid I was going to fall onto the planet at first. And then I came here and you can see it. It's like triple red flag alert, some shit like that. That video was that day. I was scared to fucking death. And then that night, I had to make another video. I think it's like mom wanted us to see this or some shit. But she showed me turned it like on my on my fucking computer. I wasn't even looking for this shit, and all of a sudden, there's a picture on this documentary of Toth and Ra standing together, pouring the Schumann frequency over Mother. And I'm all like, oh my God, that's Mother Earth's first sentient thoughts. And look who it is. It's fucking Toth. And then I got it. All of a sudden, see, I was okay with mom is an entity that I told you that took me a couple months to come to. First creation is bigger than just Mother Earth. These things behind her are first creation too. They're her family. Every star, everything with a magnet, every star, every sun, every planet, they're living entities, and that's why we were drawing them like that because they're actually alive. You know why he has a head like that with the ibis head, Toth? Hmm? Anybody got a guess? Why is Ra? Why do you think Toth has a fucking ibis head? I'm betting you that's his fucking magnet signature. Just haven't seen it yet. That's why we're drawing them like that. Because they are people. We knew what first creation was and we can interact with them. That's how Toth handed us down his wisdom. He's the older brother to Mother Earth. Had to be because he's standing there giving her the wisdom, giving her fucking Schumann's thoughts with Ra right there in stone. And she's the one that brought me that shit because I wasn't looking for it. I was like, oh my God. But I read it like a Sunday newspaper. Yes, they're about to bounce her off of this. And if you haven't seen my This Should Very Well Change the World video, the very end of it, where I show you how planetary mechanics work and the mechanism of how we're going to get off of this sun, you owe it to yourself to go look at that one too. Because that's exactly what we're doing right now. We're going to go boing. People's like, what do you mean boing? I'm like, well, it tells me you haven't seen my fucking videos. That's what that tells me. I showed you exactly how we're going to get off of the sun. Working model, real time. Achoo! Keeping in mind, these are mindless metal balls, and Mother Earth and the planets around us are not mindless. They're very good at this. It's like mom is walking right now. It's like you're walking down a sidewalk. That's how mom does it in space. She's made for that. So, granted, she ain't never done this before, but she's got a pretty good grip on how to do it. So, just hold on. She's going to hold on to us if you can keep your magnet. calm in this crazy time coming. That's going to be your most important thing, is listening to her. You're her child. She loves you just like creation. She loves you and she needs us. And she's going to tell you what to do. I'm not. I'm just telling you how to. Here, I'm telling you what I've learned on these walls. And I'm telling you what I've learned in the medical journals and the feral cell, and what she's brought to me that I could prove. That's what I made those videos on. It's a lot of information, though. We could sit here and talk for hours on it. That's why I say, even though I knocked out all those live shows over there, it's still an awful fucking lot of information over there. We are in good hands. Well, a lot of people are worried about the magnetic flip. I'm a little worried about the magnetic flip. I shouldn't be. I don't like heights, though. And she's all telling me, just keep calm and she'll be able to hold us. And I'm all like, okay. And she showed me that she has, and she, you know, what she shows me reminds me of Lee's feral cells. She showed me, she's like, I've got 4 poles. I can hold you guys and flip this one. Just relax. She knows she knows our hearts. She can flip our hearts to her. We'll just naturally resonate with her if we relax and let her do it. But she showed me she's got 4 poles, and I was like, oh yeah, it's not just 2. She can hold us while she's flipping poles. She's good at this shit. I don't know how it works. I just know what she's showing me. And because she knows I don't like what's coming. She's trying to help me out, so I'm just passing along what I'm being shown. Can I prove it in a feral cell? Yes, I can. Actually, scientifically, will show you every magnet has 4 poles. I was like, okay, I get it. You can hold the babies and carry the groceries. I get it, Mom. She doesn't expect us to make black holes the first day on the job. I'm like, all right. I can do this. No pay. Yeah, well, it is real. That's what. Look, huh? For fucking years, I was online telling people bottle water because I'd rather get hit in the head with a fucking 70-pound, 25,000 mile an hour fucking meteor than dying of thirst. What's your choice? Now it's like, you can either stack your fucking magnet or be dust. Well, I mean, the message has changed, but it's only because I read it on a fucking wall, a little love letter we wrote to ourselves centuries ago. Simple as that. Welcome, Jacqueline. Yeah, well, yeah, I've got an awful lot of information videos over there that I was burying with all my live shows, and people were complaining too much. Yep. I made a satellite channel over here, blowing glass. And this is where all of you people that go online and want to talk about the moon on these other channels get told to go talk about the moon somewhere else. This is the somewhere else you can do that at. Tonight we're going to be making parts of a dragonfly pipe. I've got the blue somewhere that I'm going to do it with. Already ready. Already ready, Freddie. We're going to pull it off of this one. But I've got to section out my... the reason I'm telling you is because my purple's hot now. I got some purple in the kiln ready to go on. If I would have known I had that one, I'm going to put this one on a stick too. Watch me. Because this one, I would much rather use for the can of this bubbler. It's 30 or it's 25, where the other ones are 22 millimeter. It'd make a much better can. So I'm going to put that one in there too and warm it up. Ta-da! Purple. And I'm making I made the reversals the other day. The reverse balls here. So I made those the other day. Look at the pinpoint accuracy on them motherfuckers, huh? That's a swirl. But yeah, they'll turn out to look like that on my bubbler pretty much. But this is going to be the one for the handle. And this is going to be the one for the can. It's got a big swirl point to it. And then the reversal on the other side. But I want to get the base color, like the base color on a stick before I put those in the kiln, because I'll be pulling in and out of parts and shit and throwing that shit on the ground. And you don't want to do that because those things take they're precision balls. They're like, look what I can do kind of balls. Yeah. That's exactly what they are. But I'm making a bubbler with them tonight instead of the hand pipe. I should be making hand pipes. I just sold a bunch of hand pipes today. I went and got me some different kind of concentrate just for some different flavor. Because today is Wax Wednesday at my local dispensary, and they give you 20% off, which is basically the tax. So I go in there and I got 2 of these for $20, 2 grams for $20, basically. And they bought $100 worth of my pipes right off the bat. So, yay! It was a good day. And I also got a check in the mail and sent out my glow in the dark butt plug and raw and horse bubbler set. They're on their way to their new homes. Yeah, this bubbler I'm going to make tonight. I'm going to put stuff on it. I'm not just going to leave it plain like I usually do. I'm going to decorate it a little bit. I haven't decided what to make it yet. But at the same time, I also need to be concentrating on making myself a dragonfly out of that blue before I get too involved with the bubbler at this point. Because that's going to take up some space too. Making the wings and stuff like that. I doubt if I get done with I might not get done with either one tonight. I might though. It's still early. It's only 8:30. I'm still chugging coffee. I plan on working till 3 or 4 tonight because I slept in. God, I got some good sleep tonight. I went to bed last night about 5. I was tired when I hit the fucking bed. I'll tell you that. It didn't take me long to get to sleep. And then I woke up 9:30. I said, "Fuck this shit." Went back to bed till about 12:30. Yeah, it's about 8:30 here. I'm in Colorado. Where can you buy one of my pipes? At Rigs for Us in Denver. And yes, they do have an online site. They are on Facebook also. If you have Facebook, I'll get you a link real quick. Let me go right there. I'll get you that link. And I'm pretty sure they can link you from that one too to her online store. But yeah, this is my buddy Anna. And the reason I tell people to go to her is because she gives the same prices I give. So that's her Facebook right there. And she has some of my work, but not a whole lot. I need to put up some pictures because I've got some pictures of what she does have of mine on my phone. She has two of my coffee pots right now. She has none of my dragons, and she has one of my face huggers. I know that. Yes, I have. That is gone though, but I'm taking some more up to her. That's one of the. I mean, that's one of my. She didn't ask for this bubbler, but she's going to get it. Maybe. I mean, if one of you guys don't speak up for it before I go up there. But that's who I'm blowing for now. That's who I'm making all these cheap pipes for. But I sold a bunch of them yet today, and then some of the ones like this one too. The local dispensary bought a bunch of my pipes today. So um, that was kind of unexpected. But I've got a dragonfly to make for one of y'all folks. So I'm going to start that tonight too. Um, but yeah, Anna's the only person in the nation with anything of mine right now. Let me see, because I took the pictures with this camera. Yeah, where's some of the bubblers she has of mine? That one there has a jar on it. That little blue one there, and the other one in the middle, that's a rig. So is the other one in the back. That's another rig. And then the one to the left is a bubbler. That's a pretty fancy one too. Um, some nice goblets in there. Here's the face hugger and the two coffee pots that she has of mine. This is one of my favorite pieces she has of mine, the one with the octopus tentacle. Her favorite is the one with the big hand-sized rose. I mean, that rose is a good big hand-sized rose, and she swears she won't sell that one, but it is on display. So all of those are mine too. But that one there, as you can see, the um, oops, shit. You can see she's also got some of my marbles back there. That's just a free marble. But that there's, like I said, that's my favorite piece she has of mine right there. And that one is work. Look at the little fish.